Summertime, summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime, summertime. Honey, solen danser, du og jeg.
Hi there, and welcome to your modern shaman, Maria in RainbowLand. This is the weekly heartful report from the week that starts at the 21st until the 29th of August 2018. Here, with a new setup, we will have a new sort of report, and it's gonna be called 7 Signs of the Week, because each week we will have 7 things I will go through that are significant for this week, or the week we are going through. This week will be filmed from the home in Denmark, close to the forest, and you will see some nature wonders instead of my face this time. And it will take you into yourself and your core and create peace while you listen. So, this week we will have, first of all, the general overview, the main point of the week for the report. Number 1. Number 2, Sun. The sun is moving into an earth sign, into Virgo. What does this mean for your sign? Number 3, Mercury. It is going direct. Ooh, yeah, from last week. It is sextiling Venus. And it's squaring Jupiter, a benefic planet. So, number 4, Mars is direct later on this week in Capricorn. Ooh, still blows from Uranus, but in a new light. 4 planets still retro. Number 5. Venus is still at home. We like her, but it's gonna square Pluto. What does this mean for the relationships? Number 6. Full moon in Pisces on the 26th of August. Number 7. Card of the week. Yay! We'll start with weekly tarot cards, because Maria has been doing tarot since she got her first deck from her father, who is also a tarot card reader, when she was 12. So of course she will use this now, and it's Rider-Waite card. Yeah, that is the extra of this week, but it will be every week from now on that we will also take a tarot card for each sign. So these are the 7 signs of the week. And now we start with number 1. Are you ready? The overall view for all of us. Yay! And this week, my main theme will be man plans, God laughs. And do you know what I mean by that? Well, man plans and God laughs. That means something that I have discovered so many times. We can want and desire this and that and that and this with our little human egos. And for sure we will, because we have Jupiter in Scorpio. And we can shout and we can scream and we can do this and that, and we can complain and put guilt upon this and that person, and say, oh, this is also because he didn't do, or she didn't do, or I didn't do, and we blame ourselves, we blame others, etc. But when it all comes down to it, I've said it before, then what I can see as an astrologer is that there is a plan. There is a plan. So you can scream and you can shout, but your higher self made a plan with God before you came here, and you can call it God or whatever. I don't care. I am not talking about just, any kind of 3D God that wants your money. I'm talking about Creator, what made us, what we are all a grand part of, which means that God is us, in a way. But that's a longer philosophical story. The whole point is that whatever you're struggling with now, and whatever you feel bruised and battered about coming out of the eclipse, is a part of a plan. And you know, if you have a strong desire with Jupiter and Scorpio, you have with Uranus and Taurus, there's something you want to manifest. You know, and with all the things that has been going on in Leo, where we are now going into another sign, of course, then, yeah, you know what I'm going to say? We have a lot of things we want to do and have fun and do things that makes us laugh and joyful and da-da-da-da-da. And that's what we've been going through during these eclipses, because the last two ones were in Leo, where we want to play and have a joyful life, etc. But not all of the plans are accessible right now. So surrender your desires to God. The spiritual journey of anyone on this planet is all about, if you want to ascend and want to fulfill the spiritual purpose of being on this planet and ascend to nirvana or whatever you want to call it, you know, to the next level where you don't have to reincarnate. The whole trick is to actually be able to let go of all your desires. To let go of all your desires. To give them to God, to Creator, to trust, to your higher self, and trust the process and notice the signs along the way. Follow the path of the highest vibration of joy, or the highest vibration of what makes your heart sing. And now I'm not saying that, oh, but it makes me so joyful to go to the cinema and watch these kind of movies and da da da. This is not what I'm talking about. Those are the pleasures you can have here on a 3D plane. I'm talking about when we don't have resistance in a certain way, and you need to learn to know yourself on a deep core level as a soul, to know when it's actually your heart that sings to you. But sometimes we suffer and we feel suffering. This can be old karmic debt being paid back, so to speak. And this can create a lot of suffering, of course, because we relive stuff to let it go, to release it. But if a door isn't open and you keep trying to force it open, it's not the right door if it doesn't open. I'm not saying, like, for example, if you have a business and you want to fight for it and it takes time and keep hitting shut doors. But if there's no signs of you continuing in this direction because it doesn't give you joy, that's what I'm talking about. Or if you're with someone who doesn't want a child and you really want it, maybe because this person is having an illness in the family that he knows or she knows that will go on to the child, or maybe this person already had 5 children, but then, you know, hand your desire over to God if it doesn't feel right to leave the woman or to leave the man. You know, and whatever thing it is that you desire so badly, if you can leave any kind of desire to God, then you have liberated yourself. Because then you can actually start living your highest purpose and fulfill what you came here for. And listen and hear, because then you're open. When you let go of the desires you have to achieve certain things, you are open. Otherwise, you're closed off. So this is very important on this journey of finding out where we're going. Maybe probably you, are the only one standing in your way for yourself. Maybe your purpose is to serve other people as a light worker. And then the benefits will come as you do so. Give all your cares and worries and desires and things to God, is what they always taught us. And then the world will land before your feet. Because then you're empty enough to see the beauty in the things that you already have. And you attract more of the beautiful things. And you will see that the things that you didn't think was beautiful, or you didn't recognize or realize that you actually had in your life, was actually already the gifts that you wanted. But you kept complaining because That is just the nature of us as human beings sometimes. Do you know, my dad used to call it the law of unsatisfaction. You know, that is what we are so good at. Limiting ourselves as human beings for that matter. Okay, so no matter how spiritual you think you are, we are all in a process. No matter how far you think you've come, we are all in a process. I don't think that anyone got out of this eclipse without feeling bruised in some one way or the other. I hope that you see why and that you are in a good new direction for yourself in your life. After the eclipse, we all woke up to some realities. And them realities we need to learn to accept. Everything is possible in the right order, but not everything is possible in the same life. We really need to feel into what is actually the purpose and point for us in this life. We cannot get all lives gathered into one. Freedom and space and 10 children at the same time. Being a known musician and being a very personal and private person. It's a retrograde phase. It's time to stand face to face with ourselves. So don't focus too much upon, but he also said, and she also did, and they also Put your focus and intention inwardly. Still, I know that some has to be outwardly, because now we have Mercury moving forward, and we will have Mars doing the same thing. So a lot is going on this week. Sign number 2 this week for you, Leo. Sun in Virgo, grand trine, grand earth trine. And this is in your sector of resources, your sector of finances and your values and money, etc. And it's a grand trine in earth between Saturn, Uranus and the sun, of course. And it's the sun that moves into Virgo. It's going out of your sign. So finally you can get some of that power back after, all the eclipses, and you have Mars in opposition and what have we not. Everything has been going on retrograde in Leo. You have really been slammed, so you have certainly been under big pressure here. So a lot has been going on in your life. So it's manifesting time now in the second. So you have to create. Leo is a sign of creation, creating, being creative, and create what it is that you wanted. And with the sun and sun being our being, it's attracting things. When it goes into your resources, it's attracting you to be able to manifest things. So in the second house is also our core values, and self-values, and Saturn is up there in your 6th house, and that is, and in your organizational house, of day-to-day routines and health, etc. And Uranus is in your work house, your 10th house, and all about the big world. And Uranus is about openness to new ideas, and Saturn is the ability to be patient and realistic, and have concentration on the detail in the 6th. And these forces all conjoined makes it possible for you to manifest what it is that you really want. That is nice. And Mercury is going direct in your sign. It already did the 19th. I mentioned it last week. But this will give you more power, and starts to help you in a positive way. So if ideas you've had about what you wanted to do next, has been held back for some reason, they will start seeing some progress now and start moving forward, especially from the start of September when it's out of the shadow phase. So we have a Mercury-Venus sextile as well. So your communication, the way that you come across to other people when you talk, will have a magnetic Venus appeal upon people, because Venus is a benefic planet. So the way you express yourself will probably be super charming if you allow yourself to be, which you often do. And it can be used in many beneficial ways. So in a nice, sweet way, if you want to. It's not in a manipulating way, at all with Venus here. it's just being natural, being yourself. So Mercury is also squaring Jupiter this week. So Jupiter is usually about growth, or optimism, expansion, and it's in the 4th house, your family house. So over the last for how long was it there? 8, 9 months, 9, 10, 9 months must have been. Over the last 9 months, probably a lot of things has been going on here in the 4th house for you. Because Jupiter is expansive, it's openness, and it's Mercury is ideas. So personal expression in your sign has been unstable with Mercury, having gone retrograde. So less rational, unclear. And this aspect can give you optimism back, even though it's a square, I know. But the square can also bring some tension that actually makes you do something about it. So you can then maybe you have to be aware of that. You could be too optimistic and not promise too much to other people, or promise yourself too much, because overwhelming optimism has the tendency to, think, everything is possible. Last week I was wearing these pink glasses, Don't wear them for too long at a time. So, sign number 4 of the week. Mars is ending its retrograde. And it's on the 28th, so that must be Sunday. So of course it's at the end of this report week. So Mars forward in your 6th. The 6th house is about taking care of your health. Listen to Saturn there, Don't let Mars stress you out with too many new ideas, but use it in a positive way to do the right things in the 6th house, to do the right health moves, because it's asserting. So maybe you become more assertive in the field of what you do, and you trust yourself more in regards to the decisions you make for yourself and your body and your routines and how you organize things. So also with the Mars moving forward, it's kind of like big work stuff for you in the 6th house is also work. With that grand trine, with the 10th house, Uranus, and innovative ideas that can happen here, and over to the Sun in the 2nd, as I mentioned in sign number 2. Then, the next 3 weeks with Mars going forward, there's great possibilities that can give you concrete physical results in the 3D world of your work and your career also. So, and it will give you more authority with Mars here at your workplace. You probably will seem more reliable and with Saturn also, and attract serious people, that wishes to work with you, because you can put some Mars action on the table. So sign number 5 this week, Venus square Pluto. We had the good one with Mercury, but here Venus is charming, of course, in your communications house, as I said, and Pluto is transforming in your health house. So it's also work, of course, but it's transforming your diet, your health, your fitness, etc., practicality, daily routines. So when did it go in? In 2007, it went in to Capricorn, your 6th house, and in these areas. So if you talk to people about these things, or maybe romantically with those 2 planets, but since it's a square, it can motivate the motives behind whatever conversations that might be going on could be dark and hidden. It's not your nature to do that, but be aware that you don't start having ulterior motives. With Pluto can be dark. It can also transform things, of course, on a deeper level there in the 6th house. So it can be good, but with the square, it's don't stress yourself out about things that aren't going to work out when other things will. It's also another thing, because with the square, often it's something that we and with Pluto, because Pluto wants something strongly, and with the square it's difficult to get it. So please don't stress yourself out too much about things that's not going to work out, because there are other things that will. So some things you want, and you have the power with Pluto there, but for Pluto to be able to transform, you have to release, certain things inside of you, internally, deep old things, maybe emotional things, for things to truly manifest. New things to come upon that painting you're painting. You have to remove other things, because if the painting is already painted, there's not space enough for it. So old stuff out, old emotional garbage out for the things you truly desire on a much deeper level to manifest. So trust the effing process, Leos. For us all, the Venus-Pluto square has something to do with us improving our relationships with the Venus, right? And over the next period of time, it's like 3 months, because, Venus is going to go retrograde in between 10-something Scorpio and back into Libra, into 25 or something. I don't remember exactly. It was 25 or something. And this is where Saturn was since 2000 I think I said 2012. Of course it was before. 2012 it moved into Scorpio. So even before, like 2010, 11, when it was in Libra, 11, since then up to now, we had Saturn there, we had Jupiter there, we had Mars retrograde there in Scorpio, and we so many things have been going up on there. So now we have Venus closing up a cycle. And it's important for us to make that change within ourselves now, I'm starting with the man in the mirror, oh yeah. Like Michael Jackson, start with the man in the mirror. You have to, because you attract what you are. So if you attract some MFers, look inside. It doesn't have to be you that's an MFer, but if you are weak and expect to attract MFers, then it can also be the way. So you have to lift your own energy and transform on a deeper level in relationships in order for you to attract the right people. Let go of certain emotional issues in your relationships and move forward now towards all the visions you already started with. All of the very hard work you've been doing for a long time. I mentioned that a lot for the Leos. Okay, sign number 6 of the week, Neptune, full moon, not in Neptune. Full moon in Pisces, but Neptune is roughly involved here. So if in regards to Neptune in the 8th, be careful. There can be some elusive stuff with Neptune there. So be aware, and you have to trust the process. You are learning to trust the process, and you're learning to try to be to not trip out and be emotionally grounded, and ask yourself what is it that you want with your life, and who is gonna help you get that. Because in the 8th house we have shared resources, shared income, shared this and that. So who can help you? Who are the right people? Who are the right people to invest in and invest in you? And when the moon goes through Capricorn, you might feel some pressure, and then as it moves into to Pisces, it's gonna be a chance for you to make the right choices for yourself. Sign number 7 this week. What is that? Tarot card of the week. Yay, Maria started doing the tarot cards, and you got the King of Pentacles. Yay, And, it's about your work, your career, and Uranus is in that field. King of Pentacles is manifesting, is material, is earth. Pentacles is earth, and of course the king is the ruler of the earth. And you are the king, you are the Leo, the king of the savannah lying there, the queen, but this is the King of Pentacles. So it's about your career, so you have to emotionally let go of all the negative things and stories. Because first, hereafter or thereafter, you can be the king of your castle. Must be the reason why I'm king of my castle. Must be the reason why. Do you remember that? Or am I older than you or younger than you? That was a song from the late 90s. For you to be that king of your castle, you have to look towards the new season. Not trotting around in the old chapter. New season, new season, new season. Leave the old behind. Make that transformation. Accept where you are right now. And with Mercury directing your first house, that means that if there's been any complications in regards to chaotic situations you may have felt during the last months, plus minus with surprises, etc., like retrograde planets gives us, we always need to put extra energy into anything to do with retrogrades. But now things starts happening in accordance with how things were planned out, so things become more reliable. So don't worry. Less unexpected events will turn up. Less cancelled things or plans will be there. So situations in your whole life, your personal life, family life, business life, can really start moving forward now. your whole life starts moving in an easier direction and become more predictable again. So get back to not following trends, but following your heart, Leos. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and commenting. I had a comment last week from a specific Leo, and I wonder what she's saying this week. You're very welcome to come with any sort of positive criticism. It's also welcome if you leave me a comment about the 7 signs. But don't follow trends, follow your heart. Have a nice week and big hugs.
Summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig.